One night before the Spring Festival, a man sneaked into a lake in Guizhou. He chased the fish deeper and deeper. He never came out. Rescue teams are in that water. I have been searching for nearly a month without any results. After, they focused on an underwater cave. In ancient times, many lepers died inside. Rescue team suspects the lovelorn probably swam in with the fish. But almost the entire cave. Still no one in sight. Until the 27th day, in an accidental exploration, suddenly, a pattern appeared in front of the diver. Mushy figure. Hello everyone, I'm Shenmian. Let's take a look today. Just had an accident. In Guizhou City, Guizhou Province, near Yucha Valley in Shaanxi City, before 2004. This area is just an ordinary valley. Washui River and Zhaowao River run through the valley. There are villages in the valley, terraces, and all kinds of caves. One of them is called Lazadong. The hole is trumpeted. The discovered part of the cave. The hole is in the shape of a gourd or peanut. It's narrow in the middle. The two wide places are dongting. There are a lot of stalactites and stone pillars in the cave. The cave still has a history. In ancient times, some people who contracted leprosy will be sent here for quarantine. So a lot of people have died in it. This is where the immigration from Zhejiang originated. April 2004, National Key Project of West-East Power Transmission. Anjiadu Hydropower Station begins to store water. This area, including Nako Cave, is flooded. It has become the largest artificial lake in Guizhou, a part of Lake Haru. All kinds of fish also began to smoke rapidly in the lake. However, this lake is also affected by the Yangtze River fishing ban, so no fishing here. But the phenomenon of illegal fishing still occurs from time to time. I don't know if it's a day in 25 years or 24 years. One from Zunyi. The man sneaks here to dive and catch fish. This scene was seen by local Zhao. So the two talked for a while. Mother-in-law thinks the professional method of diving is good, so he took it from the man. Bought a second-hand diving gear and learned some diving knowledge from him. But what Zhao didn't know was that the person who sold his equipment and that person's master. No formal diving training. Their experience is all through online video, or you find it yourself. This also laid the groundwork for the tragedy that followed. On the evening of February 5, 2026, Zhao disembarked with two others with his equipment. Sneak into the waters near Lazadong. Before that, Zhao tried it once with this set of equipment. And I caught a fish underwater. Although that fish is small, but I gave Zhao a great thank you. And he decided to do it again that night. In addition to some necessary diving equipment, Zhao also brought a fish basket, a spear gun. He didn't support the divers. No eyes. Only two companions remained on board to observe. The average temperature that night was around 6 degrees. The water temperature is 13 degrees. Visibility in the water is also low, only 1-3 meters. You may not feel it just by watching the animation. Let me show you the collection. Real underwater footage taken by personnel. This is the area where Zhao caught fish. There's a lot of flotsam in the water. Visibility is very poor. Only the direct position of the flashlight can barely be seen clearly. In such an environment, Zhao dived underwater for about half an hour. Returned to the surface. He told the boat that there were fish in the water, but many are below 30 meters. After changing the new gas cylinder at 9:18 p.m., Zhao began the next day. The two companions are still waiting on the boat. But 20 minutes passed. Zhao did not come up at the agreed time. Only tiny bubbles can be seen on the water surface and the faint light. Companion boat, look around. But there was no sign of Zhao at all. They called the police for help. The local civilian rescue team, fire and blue sky search and rescue teams arrived one after another and launch a search. The target of their search, mainly open water where the lake is located. Nothing came out of it. Then a diving team from Chongqing accepted the post. they used both sonar and divers to find. At first, everyone thought that Zhao existed at the bottom of the lake, or it drifted to another place. But half a month has passed and there is still no result, so they suspected. Could Zhao have entered the cave next to him? The most likely of these is Lai Zidong. Available on site and locally. There are no technically qualified divers. So Zhao's family began to seek help online. On February 21st, one of the family members contacted Guizhou, a diving instructor in Guangxi, and before Guizhou, it has been recommended to them, a local diving instructor in the divers he recommended. They are all from Guiyang, Guizhou, Guiqian Diving Club. They are Zhang Zudong, Guoji, Zhou Yuanji, and Kai Yichao. Guiqian Club is the first one in Guizhou. It is also the only company with a professional International Dive Knowledge Dive Club. On February 20th, several divers in front of the cabinet. The first search and rescue has been carried out. To be precise, it should be looking for the remains. After all, Zhao has been missing for half a month. After searching open water to no avail, they are 21-24 meters underwater. Found the entrance of Lazy Cave. The bottom channel in the hole is flat but dissatisfied with you. Zhou Yuanji is responsible for closed-loop upper wiring. Area search. The knot is to search around the hole along the rope. In fact, the actual cave structure, it's a lot more complicated than this flat test diagram. This is what they see in the nice. Can you see it from the video? The visibility inside is really bad. It's exciting to look at with a situation. I'm so afraid that something will suddenly float out ahead. And this is what they end up with. After a day of searching, they have a rough idea of the shape of Lazy Cave, but unfortunately, they didn't find Zhao in it that day. Taking into account existing personnel and unable to ensure rescue efficiency and safety, they decided to wait until the Spring Festival passed before conducting a search. On March 1st, the third search began. The target is the entire area of Lazidong, including some previously unsearched breaks. But here's the weird thing. They took almost the entire cave. Still haven't found Zhao. Considering the narrow passage further inside, Zhao probably won't go in. So they went back to the cave. Keep looking for other clues. While searching outside, Kai Yichao from the second group, about 2 meters below the entrance of Lazidong, discovered an unexplored cave. Because of this channel, it leads into the mountains with a large right dip, so the cave entrance is extremely hidden. It's easy to miss if you don't look carefully. Kai Chao tried to get in. It turns out that it's a pipe. It's very rugged and narrow inside. I swam about 15 meters in the frame, and the space gets bigger, and it has to go further. But then his main wheel suddenly got stuck. So Kai Yichao had to give up and return. The next day, March 2nd, they focused their search on the unnamed cave. Zhu Yuanji supports at the entrance of the cave. Guoji and Kai Yichao enter the internal search. Because the passage is narrow, more silt, the swimming of the two, and the air bubbles they exhale. The soil on the cave walls fell off one after another, causing a sharp decrease in visibility in the water. So, their search speed has also become extremely slow. 17 minutes later, the two have searched inward for about 25 meters, entering a larger cave from a corner. Just then, they discovered that there seems to be a figure floating at the bottom of the cave in the distance. When I got closer, I found out from face up to Zhao, who has been missing for 26 days. Depth about 32-33 meters. The yeast's respiratory regulator has come off the mouth. Match the belt and hang it at the ankle. Strangely enough, there is no gathering phenomenon on him. It could also be related to water pressure and water temperature, because the purpose of this dive is mainly to learn. He was not carrying any salvage equipment, so the two started to turn around and go back. They need to get the news out of the cave first. After formulating the next salvage plan with the team, Zhu Yuanji Guoji, Kai Yichao enters the water side again. Guoji stayed at the cave to support. The other two entered the cave. Kai Yichao will lead the transportation of the remains, responsible for the control of the rope after rescue and salvage. Video blogger watched. There's no way to put it online. That image really hit me. This is also the first time I have seen real salvage footage. The scene of the body floating in the water with its arms outstretched, plus the surrounding green water iron. It's really scarier than a horror movie. So I also feel for these rescuers. Very much admiration in the process of outward transportation because visibility is too low. Narrow passage, difficulty in transportation, and taking into account that the gas may be insufficient. Guizhou and the festival had to temporarily suspend transportation. They took the remains, place it on a curve about 15 meters from the exit. Prepare to come back tomorrow after replenishing the gas. March 3rd Lantern Festival. It is also the birthday of the victim Zhao. Rescue workers returned to the lake. Members of the Kneeling and Licking started the 7th dive. Put this bowl after the pressure reducer bottle. Zhang Huang Guanting. Zhao Yuhan supports on the water surface. Guo Ji supports at the entrance of the nameless cave. Zhu Yuanji and Kai Yichao enter the cave. The two came to a 15-meter bend in the cave. Body found. At this time, the body is said to be lying on face down. Air frequency facing up, mirror moving to neck, to facilitate movement in the channel and prevent facial damage. Zhu Yuanji wears a hood for the body. Dismantle the BCD drying tube of the body, etc. Then the body is turned over. Make your footsteps towards the entrance of the hole after fixing the ankles of the body with ropes. Wishing festival straightening. The rope starts to kick backwards. Kai Chao is behind after the rope is broken because the next passage is too narrow. More sediment to pull another body. So it's a pretty tough road out there. Fortunately, they finally made it to the cave without a hitch. After inflating the mother-in-law's equipment back to the surface, the three worked together to move the body out of the cave. Zhu Yuanji waited for the body to begin to rise according to the procedure. At 8 meters underwater, 3 persons stay decompression. The bodies are pulled back by surface personnel with ropes. The remains of his mother-in-law and his equipment all were handed over to his family. So far, it has taken 27 days to be rescued, or the salvage operation is officially over. According to the previous content and such equipment, we can roughly infer the circumstances of his death. After Zhao went into the water for the second time, about 30 meters underwater, found a big fish, and they're chasing him around. As a result, the fish got into the nameless hole. Although the entrance to this cave is hidden, narrow passage, but Zhao is smaller because of his size. It shouldn't be difficult to get in. So he goes in. After a while he wanted to return, but because the silt was all stirred up by him, this results in near zero visibility in the water. Mother-in-law in panic, swimming deeper and deeper in the wrong direction. Soon he entered the wide hall. He should have realized by then that he was swimming in the wrong direction, so I want to turn around and go back. But just then, he suddenly couldn't breathe. There was still some gas in his master bottle at the time. However, it may be due to the aging of second-hand equipment or improper debugging, causing him to experience excessive water pressure, unable to absorb normally. Therefore, the mother-in-law switched to a 1.5-liter emergency gas cylinder. It can be that the depth at which he is located is about 32 meters. Water pressure is equivalent to 4 atmospheres of pressure. It consumes gas 4 times faster than it does on the ground. So, the starting point of 1.5 liters is quickly consumed by a basket. As a result, he was unable to give BCD later. Inflated. Another reason why Zhao was unable to eat. The counterweight is too large. Zhao's height is more than 1.5 meters. Skinny weight nearly 90 kgs. He's supposed to have a 6-kilo counterweight. He's actually wearing 10 kilos. And too much counterweight is the most dangerous in diving, one of the most deadly mistakes. The direct consequence is causes the diver to dive too fast. It's too hard to float, difficulty in handling. In desperation, mother-in-law decides to remove the delivery belt and swim out. But before he could get rid of it, he started drowning and ended up dying there. But there is another possibility. After Zhao arrived in that winter, I didn't realize I was swimming out of the way. but mistakenly thought he had swum out of the cave. The man who sold him his diving gear had told him, "If you encounter problems underwater, just inflate it up." So, Zhao did not choose to return from the same path immediately. I wanted to get rid of the counterweight, start to float, but either way. In fact, the moment he entered daunting, fate is basically doomed. The cause of his accident can be said to be very obvious. The first is illegal fishing. Then the most important thing is the lack of diving qualifications. No shallow companions, no resources, no eyes. Lack of diving ability to handle complex environments are its specific manifestations. Zhao never had any formal diving training. He's just marketing through a diver in Zunyi. Equipment sales and distance learning. Acquired relevant knowledge, and much of that knowledge and experience is wrong. Because the person who taught the mother-in-law, and that person's master, it's all wild roads, that's all self-taught. They had no formal diving training. The blogger here also wants to say a few more words. Accidents caused by illegal fishing on wild roads like this, not a lot. In fact, more than half of them can be avoided. Teach others the wrong thing about diving. The internet is lighter to say that it is for economic power. Disregard for the safety of others. If you live on the internet, it means murder for money. Fish catchers are also a big problem. To save money, how much diving? Do not learn the correct experience at the cost of life. Instead, learn some wild ways. This must be clearly distinguished. Your life and your family are more important than anything else. Don't make small and big choices. Alright, that's where the video ends. Thanks for watching. See you next time.